Good morning, guys. So I have spent the last 5 days doing a part of a corporate fast. And if you ever want to hear from God, give something up for him. Fast something for him, because he's going to show up every single time. I promise you, he's going to show up every single time. It might not be the first day. It might not even be the second day. But if you keep at it until he shows up, he's going to show up and he's going to speak. And you might even have a hard time getting him to stop speaking at that point, which we all think is great until God starts giving you revelation after revelation after revelation, and you can't even write them down fast enough. And here's why I bring that up. Yesterday was a day when I finally had to ask God to slow down, because I could not keep up with all the things he was saying and showing and doing in that very specific day. And then this morning when I got up in my quiet time, if you haven't done it, Michael Todd Transformation Church has a 21-day prayer and fasting guide, which is actually really, really good. But I've been doing it, and this morning was on divine guidance, which is one of the things that I've been seeking. Throughout this, I've been seeking to know God, to know his kingdom, to know him more, to know his guidance for me even more, to make it more clear to me, even more so than he has been in the past. And today's verse hit me in such a way, just hit me in such a way. And I usually will read the NIV version, the NLT version. There's various versions that I'll read, but for some reason this struck me so hard this morning from the Message, and I'm going to read it to you. It's Habakkuk 2, 2 and 3. And it says, "And then God answered, write this, write what you see, write it out in big block letters so that it can be read on the run. This vision message is a witness pointing to what's coming. It aches for the coming. It can hardly wait, and it doesn't lie. If it seems slow in coming, wait. It is on its way. It will come at the right time." And I know for me, that's part of my issue, is I've just been praying, God, when is this going to come? You keep telling me it's on its way. You keep telling me it's coming. You keep telling me soon, and then very soon, and then just it's coming. Keep hanging on. But I don't see anything, nothing at all in the physical. I feel it. I feel like it's coming. I believe you that it's coming, but I'm just wondering how to prepare for this thing that you're telling me to prepare for if I don't know when. And I understand that it's all in God's time. I understand God is in control, and I've given it over to God. But when he's telling you do certain things in preparation, you don't know how to prepare. You don't know how much time you have to do those things. And so often we think that means, well, do I have a week? Do I have a month? Do I have 2 months? Do I have 6 months? And what he's telling us is, don't wait. Don't even consider that you could have 6 months. Pretend it's coming tomorrow and you've got to get it done as quickly as possible. Pretend that it's coming next week and you only have a week to prepare for this thing, because you don't know the day or the hour. He tells us in the Bible, we don't know the day or time that he's coming back. We don't know the day or time that the bridegroom is coming. The brides are in the bridal party are supposed to be waiting in anxious anticipation, watching for him with their lights and their oil ready for him to come. And that's what he's telling you to do right now. For that thing in this season that he's telling you is coming. He's promising it's coming. Be ready. He wants you to be ready. He wants you to be taking the steps today to be ready. He wants you to act like it could be tomorrow and to get it done as quickly as possible. Get all the preparations done as quickly as possible, because it's coming today. It's coming soon. It's coming before you know it. And the reason why I know this was also the second verse that popped up in my head, which is also a verse that is on my wall. And this time, again, in the Message, is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He's the one who will keep you on track. Don't assume you know it all. Run to God. Run from evil. Your body will glow with health. Your very bones will vibrate with life. Honor God with everything you own. Give him the first and the best. Your barns will burst. Your wine vats will brim over. Don't, dear friend, resent God's discipline. Don't sulk under his loving correction. It's the child he loves that God corrects. A father's delight is behind all of this. So in this waiting, in this that he's correcting you, in this that he's refining you just a little bit more, that he's tightening those screws on you just a little bit more, and wanting to see change in you just a little bit more. And you're like, how much more of this can I take, Lord? Just a little bit more. He's not doing it to be mean. He's not doing it because he wants you to wait. He's not doing it to torture you. He's not telling you soon. It's coming soon to torture you and torment you and make you have false hope. He's doing this so that you'll believe him. And so everything is perfect in the time when it's supposed to come. Because anything else is us forcing God's hand. Anything else is us trying to control the situation. And when we do that and we start putting our hands on it, it's not God's perfect best for us. It's what we start thinking we have to do. It's what we start taking pride in doing, and what we start taking pride in us doing and stealing the glory from God. And it's stealing. It's not our glory to have. It's his. And that's why things don't end up perfect. That's why things end up with us being a Sarah and forcing it. And then we end up with a Hagar and Ishmael and can't understand why things aren't as good as what God promised us. Because we don't leave it alone. Because it didn't happen in his time. So sometimes he's going to tell us to keep waiting. I know you want it now. I know you want it last week, last month, last year, 10 years ago. But you have to wait. Because the waiting is producing something in you. It's God's divine guidance in you, working through you, working in you. Because when you follow on the path that he's leading you on, it's so much better. The surprises that come up, the blessings that come up are well beyond what you could ever think or imagine. And he tells us that's the case too. And that's why he says, your barns will burst. Your wine vat. And that's why he tells us your barns will burst, your wine vats will brim over. Because he can promise us that kind of blessing, that kind of reward, that kind of overabundance that he wants to give us when we let his hands be on it instead of our own. So I just hope that this brings you guys a little bit of peace in the waiting, knowing that you're not alone. There's a whole bunch of us that are all still waiting for the promises to come too, but they're gonna come. We just don't want to be patient enough in the waiting. And so hang in there. Hang in there. I guess that's really all I'm trying to say is just hang in there. God's got it. He's got it in his hands. He's promised it to us, and he's gonna deliver. That's just who he is. He can't lie. He can't be untruthful. He can't offer something to you and then go back on it. That's just not how it works. We are the only ones who can take the blessings away from ourselves. I love you guys. Be blessed.